Last historic deck of the day. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Hope you're enjoying your Thursday. We are playing some mono black enchantment zombies. So a couple different things going on here. We've got the direct to historic card Cryptbreaker, which is very good in Pioneer zombies too. So tap 3 untap zombies you control, you draw a card and lose a life. This curves very elegantly into Lazotep Reaver, which makes 2 zombie bodies. So you can go turn 1 Cryptbreaker, turn 2 Reaver, make a friend, draw a card. The enchantment portion of this deck is fielded by this card here, which can exile an enchantment from our graveyard at the end of turn to make a 2/2 zombie. It's also an evasive threat. And then we also have Omen of the Dead, Tiamat Calls the Dead, and then enchantment creature all-star from standard Nightmare Shepherd as an enchantment creature at the top end. One thing that I'm not 100% sold on in this deck, I actually trimmed one to make room for another Murderous Rider, is I think the Creeping Chill portion of this deck is probably a little bit too cute. We do have Stitcher Supplier and Calls the Dead and technically Liliana too as ways to mill things, but I'd be kind of surprised if my conclusion at the end of this set isn't these were silly and we should cut them for spells that matter. So let's go ahead and dive on into a constructed event with this one and see how it goes. Mire Triton. Yeah, Mire Triton. So I want to fit Mire Triton in here. That one is a zombie, isn't it? I don't have a good cut. It might be Triton. Triton might be better than Stitcher Supplier. I have never once put this card in a deck and like been happy to play it outside of like Pioneer and Modern. I don't know that we have high enough payoffs for this card. I don't know. Something to think about. Let's play. I don't like to like make too extreme changes to a deck, so let's play it. If we fall on our face twice in a row, usually I like to play at least 3 matches. If we die quickly twice, we'll make some changes and do another event, but we'll see how this plays to start. Yeah, you have to be getting a lot of power out of your graveyard to make playing a 1/1 for 1 worthwhile. And I feel like the power level of what this deck is getting out of the graveyard as is probably isn't quite there. Can you please direct me to the crossroads where you sold your soul to get the yellow raid man? I was very lucky to get that one, Punchworthy. There's actually, between now and Sunday, they're doing a 2x summoning event. So the blue shards have a double chance to give you epics and legendaries. So I think it's 1 in 100 of them have legendaries right now. About 15 blue on epic, yeah. I think I'm doing this. Let's see how old boy Stitcher Supplier does here. Raid Shadow Legends, which you've almost certainly heard of watching on Twitch and YouTube because they've been advertising everywhere. The game's actually very reasonable. To quote my wife, I've been playing too much. Parts of the game are like farming for potion and gears. So like you can kind of play it while doing other things. Am I a whale in Shadow as well? Yeah, I think at this point I qualify as a whale. Giving them like $100 at this point. Gravecrawler would be a powerful addition to this archetype for sure. Gravecrawler might be strong enough that Stitcher Supplier could be worthwhile. That's the type of card that might be able to make this playable. Well, that's a Cryptbreaker. Oh, this picks creatures back up out of my bin too, huh? This is actually kind of sweet. So I get to do this, pick up this, and then play that and exile the Shepherd, get another 2/2. We need a whale emote? We have a whale emote, Cousin Vin. We have a golden whale for the really big whales, and we have a regular whale for the baby whales. I mean, they added cards much older than original Innistrad Hero. Like Darksteel Reactor and stuff, much, much older. For Mono White Devotion, noted Rillum. I'll get that added after I'm done streaming today. Alright, who's excited to get swept next turn? I know I am. All in. Don't shatter the sky, don't shatter the sky, don't shatter the sky. Alright, is this the part where they settle my wreckage? I feel like this is the part where they settle my wreckage, chat. Don't delete the chat, Coons. So if you're at work watching Jeff and playing a mobile game, what work are you doing? How do I get your job? Asking the real questions. Wow. Absorb on that kind of implies they don't have a sweeper, huh? Because if they had a sweeper, they just let it happen and then clean the board, right? Well, if anyone asks, my code is compiling. Alright, bunch of discard spells. We've not played a Darksteel Reactor deck. It's like every gacha game, I'm sure. Check. I don't know, like, I feel like people classify, like, people call card games pay to win all the time, and I really don't feel like what's the best way? I said this earlier, the best way I could phrase it. I don't know why gacha games get a bad rap, because maybe some of them are terrible, but at least from Raid's the first one I've played, but, like, it reminds me of playing Diablo 2 growing up, where, like, you spend forever grinding for things to, like, optimize your characters, but, like, it gives you an option to pay to skip certain parts of the grinding. Like, I remember the real money auction houses that existed for Diablo 2, and the gacha games, at least for Raid, just feels like the company found a way to internally monetize the third party like way to buy specific things. Yeah, there was a third party real money auction house for D2. Nothing official built in. Those sites still exist for D2. I bet they do. Quasicotl, thank you for the very generous tier 2 resub. Welcome back. No, it was not. There were third party real money auction houses for Diablo 2. I remember using them to buy stuff. Thanks for the 17 months, Fish Lamp Clock. I appreciate it. Welcome back. What is Raid? Raid's a gacha mobile game that I've been playing a little bit of in my off time. Reminds me, it's like you collect random champions by farming the shard things, and then you customize your champions with gear and stuff, and you fight turn-based battles. Right? Reminds me a lot of Pokemon, only with 4v4 battles instead of like 1v1. We're just not beating walls. Let me go to the next one. Alright, take 2. Let's do it. Signature Supplier does have some synergy with Omen of the Dead. Duggernaut, thank you for the 20 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Giving a good one wherever you're at. Remember that there were a lot of Destiny players that cited scams that went on some of those sites as reasons. MMO looters don't allow that sort of thing anymore. Sure. I think since I drew another 1-drop, we just like double Cryptbreaker and start drawing cards here. Built UI approach and tested your list. It's awesome. Thanks for the time. Like, hey, I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's a lot of fun for sure. Now the question is, do I Death Baron attack here? I think that's the answer. Yeah, Korluski, they're designed with psychology in mind. In fact, the one thing I don't like about them, my one complaint about Raid is they have pop-up deals at the start of when you log in. But like, again, if you like it, you should just have some impulse control and like set yourself a budget if you're going to spend money on it. Say I'm going to spend, you know, 15, 20 bucks a month or whatever you have to spend on your entertainment budget if you like it. Just like everything else in life. You could do stuff in moderation, and capitalism wants all of your money that it can have. Anima, thanks for the 10 months. That includes me, by the way. I'll take all your bits. I have no impulse control. That's how I became a crown. That's fair, Punchworthy. We have whales here in Hoaglandia too. I just don't do fire sales on points for the queue. Talkie Box Man told me. Thank you, Cookie. Yeah, chat. The theory, the fact that a bunch of Magic players are talking about the downsides of gacha games while watching me play Magic the Gathering is just like, it's wild. Like I get it. They definitely, like, if people have certain conditions and don't have control, or like they put themselves in positions like that, they get taken advantage of, and that's crappy. But like, booster packs are the same thing. Magic Arena's the same thing, only without sales or deals. Like, it's the same concept as booster packs. It's just modernized. Look, I wanna be Beetle. Yeah, exactly, Moldylocks. Like, what's your entertainment budget? It's like, when I told Christy I liked the game and I was going to spend some money on it, I kept playing. I was like, okay, what's the amount per month that I get to spend money on this? And I will stay within that budget. Beetle's great. Dwells, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. And like, I don't doubt that model has hurt people. But like, casinos hurt people too, and casinos are fun. Like, you know, again, you need to know when to get help and know what your limits are. That's why I'm a subscriber. Jeff never has fire sales. My entertainment budget is 0 because I don't pull myself up by my bootstraps hard enough. At least you know why it's 0. Gotta get bootstrap in there, young lad. young lad or lass or other, whomever you are. I mean, like, there's a balance, right? Like, we don't let minors go into casinos, right? So, like, to a degree, you need to protect some people that could be hurt by these things. But just saying that, like, we need to get rid of them in general, or, like, they just shouldn't exist, I think is also too far on the other extreme. All right, so I think I just do this because it gives Death Touch, which lets my 2/2 attack in here. So I get to attack for 5 and then drill bit them post-combat, which is good. Death Baron being a lord that gives Death Touch is just so good. You have 69 energy and raid, can't play anymore. Fair. It's the only way. I think I just take Murderous Rider, right? That could kill my lord. As someone who works in the industry with casinos, they are mostly fun places with some sad cases. The worst part is they serve alcohol to help people make bad decisions. Yeah, I agree with that. I understand what you're saying, Korluski. I understand the details behind it. Like, I know that they're designed with psychology in mind to get people to spend money. That's most of the world. That's what MTGA needs, a bar. Oh no! Oh no! My Saga killed my Death Baron! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh! Can we win anymore? I don't think we can win anymore. The goose is gonna make food. We should sack Omen of the Dead to get it back. Like, the geese are gonna come down and make a bunch of food. Like, I don't know that I could have played around that. I don't think anybody reasonable thinks they're not looking to exploit people, Xbox. They're not looking, they are definitely looking to maximize profits in any way possible. Similar to casinos. All right, I'm gonna bring in some Murderous Riders. Maybe I want all 4, maybe. My point of contention is the position that because these things make some people fall prey, that you should get rid of them altogether, especially when we're sitting here playing Magic the Gathering, which is the original gacha game. Especially in a world where we have all these random foils and other stuff now. Different specialty products that are printed out. Sure, yeah, like casinos, regulate it. A lot of places in the EU are regulating that stuff, and that's good. I think that's a positive change. Like that's fine. I also can't help but smile because I assume there's executive at Wizards that like just go crazy every time someone starts regulating loot boxes. So my Citrus supplier didn't flip any creatures, and now I have a 1/1 for 1, and Omen of the Deads that don't do anything, and like this Murderous Rider is bad because they have Oven. It's not looking good for our hero, chat. How'd you feel about WotC selling singles to LGSs and then LGSs selling those singles to the community? I think that would be fine, but I also know that that will never happen because doing that is less profitable. Lucasander, thanks for the 5 months. Welcome back. The reason why the Magic economy is structured in the way it is because it's more profitable to be structured this way. All right, well we're bound to have a stinker at some point. So let's take a peek at this and maybe play 1 or 2 more and see if we can make some improvements. I don't think this is a constructed playable card. Let's cut it. I think Lazotep Reaver sounds good. I think Creeping Chill's not very good. I think Mire Triton is super reasonable. Do we want some Garys at the top end? Gary at the top end might be fine. Hey, Rudy. Thank you for the 8 months. I agree that I'm glad standard's back to reasonable. I could just slide my Murderous Riders back in. We could play Gary for closing. Are there any other playable enchantments? Gary is a zombie. Can I play this card? Can I just play like 2 of that? Are there no Underworld Dreams or Phyrexian Arenas in the sideboard? Why are there Damping Spheres on my sideboard? It's a lot of discard spells too. All right, let's do that and try a couple more. There are some, like, there's a deck Marty and some of the subs have been playing that, like, plays a bunch of spells out of the graveyard with that new red card, but it's not very common, and I feel like I'd rather just play discard spells and try and race it. Like, spot removal's also good against that deck because you can just kill the 1/3. I usually watch on YouTube, so I'm gonna randomly bring up Runeterra, whatever it is. I find it funny the whole anti-whale thing they're doing is so poor considering they've arguably the most successful free-to-play system. So, Little Bird, something someone else brought up that I didn't think of, speaking about gacha games and monetizing and making people spend money. We were talking about Runeterra the other day and how it explicitly doesn't let you spend money except in small amounts. And there's actually been psychology studies done that show that it's harder for people to keep track of small spending instead of lump sum spending. So they're making it so you can't spend a lot of money at once could end up being more profitable for them because it conditions players to regularly make small purchases and thus more likely to overspend potentially. Because, like, take Magic Arena, for instance. It's very easy with Arena to say, okay, at set release, I'm going to spend $50, $100, or $200 or whatever you spend every set release, and then never put more money in. So, getting people to spend in increments is potentially, and that was something I didn't think of, and we talked about that too, right? Like, I was like, follow the money. Why doesn't it make sense for them? Why doesn't what they're doing make sense? Because what they're doing seems like it's not as profitable as it could be, but in reality, it might make them more profitable. Yeah, a lot of people don't mind spending $5 a day for 30 days, but those same people often won't spend $150. which is really interesting because a lot of people are praising it for being so innovative and new, when in reality, it's just trying to skin you in a different way, right? And again, I'm all for games making profits. I just don't like the model that this game is using, because it means if someone wanted to try it, they can't just buy what they want. Yeah, we're talking about Legends of Runeterra. Legends of Runeterra does not let players buy as many cards as they want in one sitting. They gate you based on time, how much you're allowed to spend at a time. Yeah, whether it works and is actually more profitable is a question that needs to be answered, but they're taking a gamble to potentially get more profit. Was I a big spender when I was playing more paper Magic? At one point, I had a fully foil modern deck. At one point, I owned foil Scalding Tards, Misty Rainforest, and Snapcaster Mages. And for reference, I bought them early enough that I made profits on all of them when I sold. Hashtag MTG Finance. Like, when I bought foil Tarns and foil Snapcasters, they were like sub 50 a piece. And like, I sold them at like, I think when I sold them, I traded my foil Tarns for non-foil Tarns plus $100 each. So like, made a bunch. I was also like in grad school and just like didn't have expenses outside of rent. All right, what am I doing here? Opponent looks to be playing a control deck, so I think I want these effects. I don't know that I want Murderous Rider necessarily. I don't know that I want to be reactive. I want to be proactive. Mire Triton's maybe not particularly good, although it is a little bit of an enabler for us. I don't know if this deck's aggressive enough. It's such a weird mix. Something interesting is that they got the idea of you get to spend money as it's something positive, making they're more likely to spend money. Yeah, I agree. I'm kind of disappointed in myself that I didn't see the psychological aspect of gating people on time as more profitable. But once someone else brought it up, it makes a lot of sense. Start here is going to be much slower than last game. See what they do. Finale of Eternity Disinformation Campaign. Well, we're going to get Fox News out of here. Yeah, like the person yesterday who we told to bugger off because they were certain that's the real joke that gets me. The people who are going out on a limb with certainty that the reason Riot wanted to change this model was out of the kindness of their heart to be more kind, like that, like the trust people put in capitalism is why Republicans get elected, I swear to God. You gotta look for the money, chat. You gotta think about how is this profitable? There's a reason, right? And I remember I said that, right? I was like, I don't understand how this is profitable. We weren't looking at it from the right angle, was the trick. Corporations are people too. They have your best interests at heart. Something like that. People are inherently good. Maybe. They've got a lot of outside forces encouraging them not to be, though. I probably should have not played the castle because I knew they had a field there. Probably should have stuck to playing my swamps. It's like people who tell me limited is fair because you can't just buy match wins. Yeah. Yeah, like when people talk about games being pay to win, it's like, well, that's not really how Magic works. Yeah, pay to compete is the most accurate descriptor. Well, I have Omen of the Dead to pick the Shepherd back up, but we don't have a lot of spells here overall. Correct. You can pay to have a good deck. You can't, however, pay to play it well. I like how this Omen of the Dead is just like waiting, giving us pause. Can we refer to Calyx as DJ Calyx? I don't know about that. Let's win the third game on the play, huh? Thanks for making me download Raid so I got 0 Pioneer testing done. God bless. Once you play through the first little bit and you get set up to like grind for gear or enchantments or champions or like level them up, you can play it as an idle game too. Like you play it while you play Magic. Lost every game? No, we're up a game in this match. We're going to game 3 here on the play. Will Pioneer ever be on Arena? Wizards have stated publicly that it is their eventual goal to bring Pioneer to Arena. Even if they make it a priority, though, it's going to take them many years to accomplish that. Is it Flash deck from... Yes, Spread. When I don't think decks are good in Historic... When I don't think decks are playable anymore, I take them off the website. All the pages on my website for all the formats are living pages. They're pages that I update and change as I think they're not good. Even if we don't play a deck again right away, if I think there's new cards that should go in it, I make updates on the site. Yeah, it's not like Goldfish where it's just like a snapshot. Like when sets release or the formats change a good deal, I adjust them. I think that they only did that for having caught tons of flack. I mean, I don't know. Don't get mad at them for why they did the correct behavior. Just be happy that they finally did the correct behavior. What do you think of the green-white aura aggro deck from yesterday? I think my graphics guy already sent me a banner for it, and I'm going to be adding it to the website this afternoon after I sign off. Part of the reason why I'm ending early on Tuesdays and Thursdays is so, in addition to getting Jake off the bus, I can do some extra stuff like that. I work a lot when I'm not actually streaming. Oh, Taco, thank you for the half a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Sick. So we hit Death Baron, and we hit an enchantment for this. So, like, this curve is real good here. And, like, we have the Lord next turn, too. Chance to set up Boros Featherless for Pioneer. I don't remember if I did that. I'm gonna make a note to check. The Pioneer deck this morning was a dumpster fire. Add Spears to Mono White, check, Feather, and Pioneer. I streamed late yesterday, so I don't remember if I did that. The 4-color enchantment deck being added. I don't know. I might wait to do that one until we play it one more time, because that's one that could have easily been a fluke. The website's still 3 colors. Thanks for checking in. Yeah, I'll do that in my updates this afternoon as well. Hopefully they're just dead. Yeah, tapped land. Don't cry me. Don't cry me. Just concede, please. All right, and Calls the Dead just gets us going again here, so I think I leave that on top with the Cryptbreaker to mill. Oh, you know what? I should have left one of those lands on top because I could have drawn it with Castle and then played it this turn. So I elected not, and then I could have Tiamatted plus this. Okay, so I'm gonna do this into this. You'll notice I elected not to make a zombie with the last one of these because they needed a sweeper anyways. So now I get to gas up the second one. Speaking of Pioneer dumpster fires, I submitted a deck. Yep. I'll double check, Fox. It sounds like I foobarred my end of stream stuff yesterday a little bit. Need to get back into a rhythm with the longer streams. So the problem with Midnight Reaper is that a lot of our stuff... Wow, that's unfortunate. A lot of the stuff in this deck is tokens, and Reaper doesn't work with tokens. It is a zombie, that's true. I don't even know if this deck's very good, is the long and short of it though too, so. Holy gosh, Chad, are we on the scoreboard? I think we're on the scoreboard. Zombie, 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 heh, heh. Empty Hex, thank you for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. Hope you're having a wonderful Thursday wherever you're at. All right, let's try at least one more here, huh? We're 1 and 2 now. Made some changes. Creeping back up. How much gold do I have? I think we're around 20K right now. So I had 100K when the set released, and I bought 100 packs with it. Actually, worth noting, like, I had sufficient mythics from this set with just the 2 pre-orders for $100 plus my gold, which is pretty sweet. But checking out some of their options over here. Any good beginner tips for Raid? Don't spend your skill tomes until you know which champions you care about. It gives you a lot of rare skill tomes. Don't ascend champions or use the skill tomes till you know which ones you like and want to use. I burned a number of those making bad decisions. Today's been good. This deck's been a little bit rough in the first draft. This one's going a little bit better. Hey, sounds good, Seth. Black-White Afterlife. Sounds good, Revenant. That'll get bumped today when I'm done. So we get to get this going, which hopefully finds enchantments for this next turn. Might get to see Liliana do some work here, too. Her -2 can kill something equal to the number of zombies we have. So we can take this Electromancer out, possibly. Probably a Phoenix deck. Oh, gosh. Is the Escape Phoenix really good in this archetype? I bet the Escape Phoenix is absurd in this deck, huh? There's also that 2-mana Escape Draw card. Seems potentially good. Didn't mill an enchantment, unfortunately. Escape Ox could be okay too. Yeah, I could see that. All right, so I have 3 zombies. So I think my play here is Liliana -2, kill the Electromancer, attack for 4. I feel like a Spell Pierce here. I don't just want to play Death Baron out because I'll likely just kill this. Interesting to see they killed the one that comes back. I guess they just want to stop it before it gets too large, huh? There's a burb. And because it's just peak funny and embarrassing. Perfect, Seth. It's just peak funny. Did anybody else see the news article that apparently part of the new border wall blew over? One of my buddies leaked. Does anybody know, is that fake? It sounds like it could be fake, but like we're also living in the timeline we're living in, so I feel like it could be real. Hey, Calls the Dead discarded itself, so this gets to make another zombie this turn. If they don't have a Flame Sweep, we're in a pretty good spot here. It's real. God bless us. I don't understand, chat. I thought we only built the bigliest walls, the best walls. Like, just like, even if, like, it only happened during construction, you just need to consider the fact that the company that allowed that to happen during construction built the entirety of the wall. I'm doing well, Danon. Life is swell. I don't have any more enchantments in here anyways, so I think we just serve. If I attack with everything, I don't want to give up the Baron. Let's just ship it. This is turning into a 5/5 here, which is a little scary. They can probably flip this back next turn, and then they take 9 down to 3. Oh, that's a little brutal. I guess these still trade. Wait, did they not? Did they miss farting? They missed farting their Terramander. It's a pretty big deal. Got her. Thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. So keeping me right up. Have a good one wherever you're at. Okay. Rider should mean we're less likely to die to a flurry of birds next turn. Even if they had kept Terramander, Rider means we would have been okay here, which is nice. We just have one in the bank now. I don't think I'm ready to draw with this. I think I just pass. Like, this is going to cost me 2 life to kill something. Yeah, it's hard to get them to put anything together here. This can kill, like, a Crackling Drake if they have it, though. That's pretty good. Well, they only have 1 bird coming back, right? So I get to kill this, and then pay 2, draw a card. I don't know, drawing a card here might be wrong with Invasion also killing me. I think I'm just getting back Triton here because it gains me life. I don't have any enchantments in my bin for the Harpy at the moment. And then next turn we can scry 2 with this. So it says, raise dead at instant speed, and then can pay 3 and sack it to draw 2. Of course, roller dude. Alright, so Agonizing Remorse exiles Phoenixes. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Liliana sounds a little bit slow. Maybe Invasion's too slow. I guess it provided a good stream of threats there. I wonder if this card's good enough at the top end. I guess you just, like, need the enchantment density to make this card work. Yeah, maybe Death Baron, because it essentially trades down on mana. Yeah, Death Baron. Maybe Death Baron is the trim. Could bring in extra Murderous Riders, because they're probably likely to have Drakes and stuff in their deck. Or other bigger threats that I don't mind killing. Opponent, do. But I'm trying to figure out their master sideboard plan for mono black zombies. Sure. Hopefully, Mire Triton will flip over some enchantments for the Cacophony. What's our best possible draw? Cryptbreaker on 1, probably. That's true. Flame Sweep is almost assuredly in their deck. Post board. We do have some Agonizing Remorses. Kind of punch through that a little bit at least. So 2/1 Death Touch. When enters play, mill us 2. We also gain 2 life. Sick. We get an enchantment. If they just pass and don't use their mana here, it means they have a shock that they're holding. Yeah, actually, like if they hadn't opt, they'd cast it, right? So I probably don't want to jam this into open red mana next turn, because I'd prefer to try and get value out of it. So if they pass with red mana up, which they didn't, if they pass with red mana up, we would have played this. Because they bricked, we'll play this out and get ourselves a 2/2. Alright, please don't flame sweep me. Survey says. I don't think things bode very well for our hero, chat. Bring out your dead. Bring out your dead. No, they just stumbled. They just stumbled a little bit. They get to hand with some cantrips and missed their 3rd land for a touch. Yeah, had the flame sweep. Still attacking for 5 next turn, which is okay-ish. Calls the dead. Gets to make us another friendo. Gain us a little bit of life. This card offsetting the life lost from this is really nice. Feels good. It's 2 to activate at the moment. So I don't want to field their castle pre-combat, because it does currently cost them... Yeah, Terry's a little scary. If I untap their land, they get to just fart this, which wouldn't be good for me. The fact that this scries after you draw is so sad. That's just obviously the way sagas work, but the effect would be a lot more powerful if you saw the cards you scry to right away. Actually not going to field them. I don't really want to give them an extra mana to work with. So I attacked with this because the Shepherd could bring it back if it died. Shepherd getting set up with Death Baron here is potentially very good, because it means they have to kill this and this. Yeah, so like, Now I get to attack for 6 here. Oh, this is a zombie too. Okay, sweet. So they're forced to trade off their Pteramander. I don't know why I thought this wasn't a zombie in my head. Definitely is. Baron's real good. Push it to 3. And then between Dreadhorde just providing a steady flow of threats here and Calls the Dead being a follow-up if they sweep, we're in a pretty okay spot. If they have another flame sweep, they're going to buy some time, but I think we're still ahead at that point. Scale of 1 to dead, where are we at here? We have a finale. Okay. Okay, that's really good. So they get to kill 2 of my things plus put a Phoenix into play here. It's a good recovery. I assume they're going to hold this back so they don't take 1 since they're at 3. Again, going to prioritize exiling non-enchantment creatures in case I draw a Harpy. Yep, another blocker is pretty good here for them. Okay, that's a good one. Again, attacking with this because it comes back as a 1/1. That makes my 2/2 bigger. So this will be able to attack as a 4/4 next turn. They have like an unsummon here. That's pretty punishing. Unfortunately, I don't have a 7th and 8th land. Not the end of the world, but still not great for us. We have to gain 3 scry 3 next turn. We did at least get the blink out of them, and that was a blink that didn't get used to kill one of our tokens, which is good for us. That's a good one. I guess it's a good one. Like, this is awkward after this. Because, like, I'm just milling away whatever I'm scrying. Yeah, like, I guess that's fine. Just because, like, Calls the Dead. Yeah, we O2'd the first league. We're 1-0 in this one, and we're up a game in this second match. Alright, so just keeping us off of Nightmare Shepherd, sure. Maybe that was a mistake, and I'm supposed to play Nightmare Shepherd this turn, so that way I could draw the second Shepherd next turn. Although I guess if I sequence with that, I get Spell Pierced off of it. So it's kind of whatever. They are not dead on board because the 1/1 cannot attack this turn. This 2/2 also cannot attack. So putting a stop on my end step so I can let their scry resolve. And then before we go to their turn, searching with Field of Ruin is not optional. So we kill their castle and shuffle away what they scried to the top. Yeah, this is mostly just here, Marty, because it's a good black card that's also an enchantment. Because one of our cards explicitly cares about enchantments. They have another finale here. They get to Lava Coil plus kill something else again. The finales have been really good for them. Definitely the card that's kept them in these games. They're dead though, right? Like I have 4 2/2s on attack next turn. They don't have another Phoenix to bring back. So they're dead on board. Lintix, thank you for the half of your support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. The old end at 24. I feel like where we got to feels pretty okay. Just the kind of basic deck building principle of play more good cards applies, right? Like we cut the 1/1s for 1 and we cut the creeping chills. And we added this, which I think is just a constructed playable card on its own. Like has the synergies we're looking for, while also just being reasonable. Dreadhorde Invasion really did some heavy lifting in the games that we played. It's very, very possible that this is an effect we want more of. Like Omen of the Dead's a little bit awkward early, but it was fine in other spots. So I feel like cutting one of those and like going to a third Dreadhorde Invasion could be fine here. But overall, I definitely think cutting some of the more cute cards and playing some more higher quality cards ended us up in a decent spot for sure. This card curving into this and like the game when you get fortunate and hit like an enchantment and a creature with this, so you can like exile 2 things with that, felt really good as well. So Jorah plus Ayara is sweet. Yeah, we've seen some of that in Standard as well. All right, at any rate, that's going to be it for me for today, folks. We're going to be ending earlier on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'll be back again tomorrow morning. I'll be firing off with a Pioneer League to start, and then we'll be rolling on into a bunch of Standard after. Tomorrow's going to be another long stream. We're going to go to about 5 o'clock in the evening. Remember, if you're looking for more content from myself, you can check out my website and my YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff there. If you're interested in mostly historic, we're going to be back with more historic content next Monday. So catch all y'all around and hopefully see you tomorrow for some Pioneer and some Standard.